Hello, welcome to our garden. Today is the 21st of January. I am still getting very twitchy. I want to do bits and pieces in the garden. I want to plant up my courgettes, but I can't. It's too early. It's too early. My cat's trying to get in my greenhouse. Let's let him in. In you come, Riley. Right. So I started recording a video yesterday. Just finished sorting it all out today. So the last few bits are done. Went to do the editing and realised I didn't record an intro. So, quick intro. Next to part of my garden, I've got this storage area with a small little tin roof. I like to use all the space that I can, so I decided to plant some strawberries into some tubs and pop them on there. They did really well last year until it got really, really hot, and then they really struggled. Black pots don't do well in strong sunlight, but that's something that I'll adjust for this year. But anyway, they stopped growing very well back then, and I kind of forgot about them. It was only yesterday when I went to go and clear out some more tubs, try and get all of the used and spent soil that I've had last year, that I suddenly realised, no, they're not salad, they are the strawberries. So this video, going through tidying them up, tidy up the main raised bed, and invite you to come along to my new little project. It's something I've seen loads of people do, but I've never thought to do it myself. But yeah, so we'll take you back to yesterday. So here are the strawberries that I forgot. Now, I'm quite pleased to see that we have very much got life in here. But where I'd put this pot, I'd put it on top of the little shed that I've got. Well, not a little shed, I don't know, little storage bunker thing, just the other side of the greenhouse over there. I'd put a load of these pots on there with salad, and I kind of just forgot about the strawberries. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here to trim back. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have some lovely garden snips, but I can't find them. So I'm going to go in with a knife and trim some of this out. So if you see, I see I've not done all of it. That's how it was on both sides. So trimming this over, we've got lots of green growth, so we know this is still alive. And underneath here you have what's known as a crown. Now if you look at this little nubbin here, this is actually another crown. So what the plant will do is it will send off all of its little lines, which you get all your strawberries from. So actually that's a load of strawberry seeds on there, I might save them. But it will also send out suckers or runners. Here you go, here's one just here. What this will do is this will take itself away from the plant, and then from these little nodules, if it can feel anything which it can put its roots into, it will do. It'll become a sizable little crown, like this one just here. And then from there, it will then stop taking nutrients from the main plant, and it becomes its own separate plant. Now, that's not a bad thing to do, and it's what I did in one of my big beds. So I didn't have to spend as much money on buying the plants themselves. But when you are doing that, it's going to produce less fruit. So ideally, you want to take them out. As I said, with this one, I kind of forgot about it, which is a shame because this was actually surprisingly good production of strawberries. Certainly enjoyed it for Christmas gin. But yeah, we'll carry on. I'll bring you back in a minute. So, that's that all done now. So you can see the crown itself, this section here, this is the main body of the plant. It's what does the root network. So in this, I want 3 strawberries, which I've got, 3 strawberry plants. This is more than enough space for them. However, what I will be doing when the weather gets a little bit better, I'll be adding some nutrients. Now I add tomato feed to my strawberries. Oh, I missed one there. I add tomato feed to my strawberries, sorry. And this just allows them to get a little bit more of what they need, and it produces a really good amount of fruit. Now I've left a fair bit of leaf lifter in here, partly because I just have, and mostly because the ground is still frozen. There's no movement in that, and a lot of these are actually frozen into it, but maybe later on today or tomorrow I'll come through and I'll clear out all the leaves from here. And I have actually got another one to do, but I will do that later on today. Yeah, So hopefully leave these in the greenhouse until we're past the frost dates, and then this one might get a good head start. Certainly did last year, and we'll see. Right, so next day, I got a bit distracted, started doing other things. Need to finish these strawberries. So I was saying about the leaders. Now, what I've got in the tub I've got just here is a leader that I've actually tried to put on. Now, I haven't done too many of these, so if I just spin it around. Again, I forgot about these strawberries. Please don't judge me. They're in a bit of a mess, but they're salvageable. So there's the one that I sorted out. So that's all fine. This is the one that I've got to sort out now. You can see we had more frost last night, but just here, so we untangle this. What I'd done, the leader had run out and it had gone down, so I popped it in a little soil with some mud. And hopefully it'll be okay, but we will find out. We'll keep track of it. But all I'm going to do with this is take my knife and I'm just going to cut it off there. And that way, we should have another plant. I don't want any more plants in the tub itself. I only want 3. But these strawberries were really, really tasty. And so a large portion of these went into making strawberry gin, which if you're going to grow it, you might as well use it. But yeah, so I'm going to go on with this and then I'll bring you back when it's all done and dusted. So that's all done and dusted. Awful lot of dead foliage off. I'll have to just show you. You can see the actual crowns themselves are absolutely fine. Ooh, don't drop the camera. That's probably a faux pas, isn't it, putting your hand on the camera like that? Yeah, I'm not sure about this little crown though. I'm going to put the knife. It's hard to tell whether it's actually alive or not, because obviously this has been outside. Just there at the end of the knife, that's where the crown is, but it is frozen solid. So I'm not going to go digging around looking for live roots. To do that, I'm probably going to break them. Now, I do have a couple of other strawberry reds to do. Still in the process of tidying, so apologies. I'll come out here. I'll do this one. Might take a little while. There's loads of runners in here. The section across here I need to completely clear, because that's for the peas to grow up these trellises, although I think I might use beans this year. Not sure. The Elysium survived the winter. A couple of them have died around the garden, but they should be quite nice this year. But yeah, so I'm going to give this one a go now. Oh yeah, and then I need to empty my potato failures, because they were just complete failures, and I've been so disheartened by them, I've just left them there. Well, I didn't mean to do this. Completely sheared the screw. So, a lot better, a lot more room. So this is what I was talking about with regards to the runners. So we have some spares now. So that is a fully fledged little strawberry plant. On the end of this was one of these plants over here. Shoots off a runner. Now these are the things that you want to pick off as they start forming. But I had a little idea for this year, and the strawberries in the centre of this run, they don't give yield for very long, but the yield they do give are really, really sweet and really, really full. So later on in the year, I'll show you where these are going to end up. I'm going to go and put these up now, so I'll bring you back into the greenhouse again. Right, so 5 of them in total. You can see just here, that's what's known as the crown. And then you had its runner, which came from the adult plant. You end up with a baby. Again, see how when the crown gets below the surface of the, well, gets onto the soil, it then sends off little roots. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I have some general purpose compost still on the bench from whatever it was I planted last. All I'm going to do is put them into here. The only thing I really need to take in consideration is giving them a little bit of a trim. The plant itself will get rid of all the excess growth, but this just helps prevent disease. Now you want this section of the crown below the soil, but only up until where it starts to go green. You don't want it any deeper, otherwise you're just going to encourage rot. And you want to try and keep it in the same orientation it was in if you've done what I've done, which is realise there was a shed load more than you'd expected. There are still quite a few left in there that I haven't picked. I'm only doing these today because I pulled them out while I was weeding. Again, crown below, keeping the green above. And then these should be good for next season. Let's just get some soil out of that one. So the plan is, I have rather a bare, boring fence in between the growing section of my garden, a bit you guys are familiar with, and the other section, which I don't think I've ever shown on video. And I'd like to build, using Joyful lemonade bottles, or pop bottles, depending on where you're from, a wall of strawberries. Now, the unfortunate thing is, it'll either be east or west facing, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about doing it yet, but that'll make a fantastic start to the wall of strawberries. Brilliant. I think that's probably enough for today. I've got some more tidying to do. I shan't bore you with that. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next video.